Hey, subscribe to the channel, like this video. I told y'all they checked Boosie for everything he had on him. They had to check him when he got right to the show, man, due to the fact that they didn't know whether he had all the Duke's 093's jewelry or not. So what happened is as soon as Boosie got to the concert, it's like people was already waiting for him, and they said, we have to check to make sure you don't have none of Duke's stuff. So they looked through everything he brought, and they were like, we have to make sure that you don't have none of Duke's chains. You can't have none of Duke's Rolexes or anything like that. And especially, we better not find that Louis Vuitton bag, because if they find that Louis Vuitton bag, then that's going to exactly put Boosie into direct connection with everything that's been going on. And it's already bad enough that his name been being thrown around because he's so close to the situation and was there and literally heard and possibly seen everything that happened. Because in the interview, he already told us that he was right there in the parking garage, man. He was right there in the garage. He could have said something. He could have changed the plans and literally made it to where they didn't touch Duke at all. But that's not what he wanted to do. You know, at the end of the day, they gave him 48 hours to come up with $1 million. That's when, as soon as that message was sent out, that's when you knew somebody is going to get it out here, because of the fact that to get $1 million in 48 hours, you can't do that in no regular way. It's going to have to be some type of issues that come with that. And so from that alone, y'all got to understand that the only person with $1 million in that whole room at that dice game was Jay Prince and Duke. And guess what? Jay Prince and Boosie are best friends. So it's like they're not going to try to play each other. At the end of the day, it was an agreed decision that it was going to have to be Duke, man. No matter how you look at it, no matter which way you look at it or whatever, at the end of the day, it was a decision made, and they chose and picked Duke, the jeweler, to be the one that had this happen to. And like everybody says, the karma is going to come back and all that. And why is it that, it's a whole situation to where they should have never had did that, because Duke was a big dog, man. Duke was a big dog, and it's a lot of wolves out here, a lot of wolves that don't know how to be a big dog. All they know is wolves attack. And so that's what's going on in this situation. Y'all got to understand that Boosie is tied up in all of this, man. And at the concerts, man, these concerts been crazy, bro. They've been checking Boosie's temperature and everything. Like, they literally made it to where he has to show them everything he brought so that they make sure that he doesn't have anything that belongs to Duke 093. And they're going to keep doing this at all of his shows. They have to search him and be like, okay, they not searching him, but they looking at everything. They like, we have to see what you brought, because they can't let Boosie in if he's caught with Duke's jewelry. Because if he's caught with Duke's jewelry, then it's like all these people are going to know. They're gonna see the Duke chain. They're gonna see his artwork is unrecognizable. It is unrecognizable. It's only like Duke makes one of one pieces. Duke the jeweler makes only one of a kind pieces. So if Boosie goes on stage wearing Duke's jewelry, the people are going to know. The crowd is going to know. And it's already people out there, ticket holders who are Duke fans. It's people who really riding with all the OGs. And you got to understand that it could be at any moment. Like, they could decide, oh no, that's Duke's chain, we got to go get that back, man. And that's why they try to already snatch his chain and send somebody to that back closet or that whole backstage, man. Like, everything. That's why they've been checking that, because they want to make sure that nobody's running backstage while Boosie is performing and trying to like swipe out all the jewelry or swap it for the fake lab diamonds and CZs. You know, they already tried to take one of Boosie's jewelry cases. Boosie brings the same jewelry case with him everywhere he goes. He carries it with him. It's like a little small, like little built up box. It's padded and everything. It looks just like the Icebox one, but it's from a different brand. And so he carries that around, and that's what they knew to look at. When Boosie was on stage and the security guards were slipping, drinking the Henny, the Remy, and all of that, the guys ended up sneaking past the security because they looked just like they was on Boosie's entourage. There was no difference between these guys and the guys that Boosie came with. You wouldn't have known unless you actually know them by name and face, like if you spent years with them. But these security were slipping, bro. I told you, they're all off the Remy, man. And what happened next is, as they were taking shots at Duce, the guys literally snuck around the hallway and got into Boosie's closet and literally looked and got a selection of whatever jewelry they wanted. That's why now they're checking Boosie at every show and saying, you can't come in here if you have any of Duke's jewelry. Because if word gets out that you got Duke's jewelry or anything like that, or you actually have it with you, then it's going to be people who are trying to come into that backstage dressing room trying to take the jewelry, man. And like, because they know at this point that Boosie got way too much security on him, so they can't really get as close as they thought they would. And so they're going to try to get everything else. And they're like, okay, he's going to have to pay up another $1 million in 48 hours. He got to give it to us now. And it's like, who he give that $1 million to anyways? Was that ransom? Was that hush money to keep him from getting a worse situation with the whole Duke the jeweler thing? Because if you really look at it, it's like, why would Boosie need to sell all of his cars and all of his belongings when he already is supposed to have money? Like, I get his shows are starting to get canceled and everybody, like, you know, he already did a lot of things to where he messed up his own image, man. Before all the Duke stuff, Boosie was already saying crazy stuff on TV, making it to where they don't want to book him for shows no more because he controversial and all this other stuff, right? And so it's like he already kind of messed up that. And then now it's like, oh, okay, if that started becoming slow and he still got payments to make, he still got car note to make and everything like that. And so he's scrambling, he got to keep up with the lifestyle. He got to keep up with all of that, right? And so at the end of the day, if you look at it, it's like he either was selling everything because he had to pay for what he did in the whole involvement and him being connected to Duke the jeweler. It's either that the $1 million was going towards that, or the $1 million was going towards like paying it back, buying back the jewelry, because you know he tried to say that he bought back the jewelry. It's like, okay, why would you buy back the jewelry from the guys that just took it and hit up Duke? Like, you gotta understand, you can't do business with them type of people. They already crossed the line and sent somebody like to the grave, man. Like, you can't do business with people like that. It's already past a certain point to where you have to basically, it's like either going to be where if they see them, the security has to react right away and they have to get them, because they know that they're going to try to get, you know, they could try to do something to Boosie. So if security or anyone sees those guys again, they can't be, oh, let me buy back your jewelry. No, they have to actually act quick, because you don't know what they're going to do. So they have to act first so nothing happens to Boosie. And so that's the thing. It's like, why would they be cool with buying back the jewelry if they're not actually supposed to do business with them people no more? Like, at that point, it should have been like military, right? If you see them, boom. And so that's what's going on. But at the end of the day, yo, it's a whole lot of stuff still to come out. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to get all the details. Hit that bell and like this video, drop a comment down below, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one.